There's a new front in Myanmar as supporters of the military take to the streets in Yangon, clashing with anti-coup protesters. At the same time, Facebook is also taking action. The social media giant has blocked groups and platforms linked to the military.
Clashes in Yangon as pro and anti-military groups took to the streets. Armed with knives and slingshots, supporters of the coup rallied through the city center, carrying signs saying, "We stand with the defense services." At times, scuffles escalated into more serious violence. Security forces made arrests to break up the crowd. Further uptown, students joined in the mass demonstrations, but hundreds were stopped by police after they blocked the gates of a university campus in Yangon. Across the country, many have answered a call to wear a traditional paste or tanaka on their faces as a way to show that they reject the military coup. In the wake of deadly violence that has occurred, Facebook has widened a ban on accounts linked to Myanmar's military. The move applies to military-controlled state and media entities. Advertisements by groups affiliated with the military will also be banned.
We're continuing to treat the situation in Myanmar as an emergency, and we remain focused on the safety of our community and the people of Myanmar more broadly.
Facebook is widely used in Myanmar. It's been one of the ways the military has communicated with people, despite efforts to block it in the early days of the coup. For more than a week, access to the internet has also been cut off overnight.
Leon Wykett joins us for more. Wykett, reports just in that shots have been fired in Yangon.
About a minute before we were standing by to go on air, and I've been receiving news alerts on Twitter from various friends and local journalists showing various videos that look like the same location. One of them said that police opened fire in Yangon to disperse crowds. I opened one of the videos and I did hear what sounded like gunshots in the video. So right now, of course, like I said, I'm seeing videos and photos from a lot of my journalist friends who are in Yangon right now. We don't know if there are any injuries at this moment, but this comes across as worrying because not only are we seeing right now the clashes between security forces and the anti-coup supporters. Earlier today, we also see more pro-army as well as anti-coup supporters clashing. I mean, in the past, we have been seeing pro-army supporters going around at the back of the trucks. But usually when they approach the anti-coup supporters, police will divert them away. But today it seems that the clashes have picked up. When my CNA crew went to one of the locations earlier in a railway compound, women over there immediately came to us and showed us their injuries. They showed us their arms, their back, their face, their head, and they say that the pro-army supporters had attacked them with slingshots and stones. Elsewhere, local media also report that there are at least 3 severe injuries as a result of pro-army attacks. There's also another journalist who had tweeted, for now, an unverified CCTV footage showing people running along a street on downtown Yangon, apparently from an alleged attacker who is armed with a knife. Now, all these developments really paint a very different picture of what Myanmar showed on the international or regional front. I mean, just yesterday, Myanmar, Indonesia and Thailand met in Bangkok to discuss talks. Of course, the leaders had also told Myanmar to not use lethal force against protesters. And after that very big PR showing, he comes back, and now we're seeing, like I said, news just in, apparently police have fired shots again in Yangon. So what's happening on the region and what's happening at home really are very different pictures.
Yeah, thanks for getting sort of speed with that. Wykett, as well, ASEAN foreign ministers, you mentioned meetings. They are set to hold talks on Myanmar's unrest next week.
Yeah, that's right. Sources tell me that the date is tentatively set for March 2nd. For now, they're still deciding on the format of the meeting, whether it's on Zoom or in person. And really, when they do meet, ASEAN has very few cards, very few trump cards that they can use. For one, we know for sure that ASEAN cannot help facilitate or hold the military accountable to hold elections, because there was backlash. People do not want another elections to be held because they say they've already held the GE 2020 and they've made the choices very clear. One expert whom we spoke to previously said that perhaps one thing that ASEAN can focus on would be a peaceful dialogue, because that gives the Myanmar army a face-saving way to graciously get out of this situation. But again, this is developing, given that today there's new developments on the protest front, as well as police apparently firing shots. We really don't know whether March 2nd could even take place in the first place.
Yeah, well, thank you for keeping across it for us. Young Wei Kit with the latest from Myanmar.